Hey Leo, what it do? Welcome to the channel. I hope everybody is having the most amazing day. We're gonna get into a little bit of this tarot today to see what's really happening in your life. I'm gonna do a little past, present, and future. But the theme around this is this new moon that's coming up on the 27th. So I just want to peek in and see if Spirit has any advice, guidance, anything they want you to unpack, anything they want you to get excited about. And also, I'm going to be looking a little into your love life if I can squeeze it in and not make a 2 hour long feature film. I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, if that sounds like something that interests you, I have taken the time to time stamp the chapters so that way you can jump to your chapter of interest. I also have labeled them with a little bit of the information that might be in them just so you'll know what you're getting into before you click it. And speaking of clicking stuff, can you please hit that like button? And if you like the reading at the end, could you hit the subscribe button for me? Because I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm new. Trying to see what's going on out here. Trying to see what's going on for y'all. Trying to see what's going on for me. People helping people. Anywho, stay tuned for the opening vibe check where we're going to talk about this moon energy. The moon is moving into Aries from Pisces, and we're going to be getting into these opening energy oracles and then moving into the tarot. And then the closing oracle message where I talk about the essential oils that will benefit you and the crystal energies that will benefit you as well. So, if this is where we part ways until several chapters later, see you there. Okay, Leo, welcome to the opening vibe chat. We're going to be talking about this new moon in Taurus, which is really around building on your current foundation. It's around, just beautifying your area, enjoying your abundance. If you listen to tarot often, you know about that Nine of Pentacles energy, the energy where you just like, you got everything you want. You got whenever you want it, you just walk around and it's there. That's what this new moon energy is about. But new moons themselves are about um, setting intentions. And setting intentions is all about basically as above, so below, as within, so without. What you feel inside yourself makes you happy is what you want reflected in your environment. So you can set intentions for that to be what your case is. But as you do that, understand that there's a lot of shit that you might have to unpack before you even get to the part where you're going to manifest in a healthy way. You're going to set intentions and literally be taken through like a wheel of events that's going to help get you exactly where you need to be. So we'll start out with the moon energy, which is having faith in your dreams. And this is the waxing crescent moon. Right now, we're currently in the waning crescent moon, which is about just like mastering emotions, watching your perceptions about things around you and events that's happening. Not really a good time to be passive, but more a good time to be like assertive, not aggressive, but assertive about what it is that you want. So in regards to setting intentions, the waning crescent moon is perfect for that, and that's what we're in right now. The waxing crescent moon is where you start to really see everything unfold. Like it'll be like a climatic time where you just need to remain calm as everything unfolds. But that's the natural progression in life, right? But right now, for your reading, Leo, it's the waxing crescent moon. So energy is fluid, and when spirit gives information, they give it in the words they need you to understand at the moment. So it doesn't really matter that this says wax and crescent. What matters is the energy around that is bulging, like it's like a I guess when the moon is coming from new moon phase into full moon phase is when you'll see the waxing cycle, because it's where you see the moon the most, and full moons is where you see the moon the most. We all know that. But anyway, this energy, along with the energy of confidence, independence, being reactive, being reactive can go one of two ways. Like you can be reactive and be assertive and stand on business and say, this what I mean. I meant to say what I meant to say. I said what I meant. You know what I mean? I'm not waning. I'm not backing down from what I feel just because, there's some kind of opposing force near you, right? That's the energy of the moon right now itself, because the moon is moving into Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars. So just imagine you're a Leo. You're already a fire sign. You are the sun. You are heat, hot fire. You have a tendency to feel things intensely as well. So having that natural setup and then Mars jumping into um a sign that is known for intensity, this is a time where what you want to do after listening to this message, if you can, or put it on your schedule, set an alarm on your phone, take a healing bath. It just to keep it simple, get some lavender, get some chamomile. You can either get the herbs or you can get the actual essential oils. I would say get the essential oils unless you really plan on taking a bath in large amounts of herbs. It would make a lot of sense to just soak. Like, I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I take a shower before I get in the bath because I just feel like the whole thing about baths is like you sitting in your own dirt. So to take a cleansing bath for me, where I want the essential oils to seep into my actual skin, because that's what that does. It seeps into your skin and it like recomposes things to fit whatever need you have. And I just feel like that's better done on a clean body. But get lavender, get chamomile, frankincense, and rose. We'll talk about them later. But just draw a bath, put them in it, light a white candle, and chill. This is the whole theme. It's this strong energy, like of just, you already Leo are the type to have inner strength, and the moon being in Aries is just a heightened intensity of you, Leo. Just think about who you really are. If you have a hard time right now connecting to who you really are, take some time to remember who you were before the world told you who you had to be. You know what I mean? Like what was it that you were about before everybody said be about this? You know what I mean? The energy is also around need to try new things. So when you go inside, because Mars, Aries, is very adventurous. It's like, think night energy. Like I want to fly in and experience and then fly away, and then go experience that and then fly away. And then, I want to do things my way. I just want, I know what's right. I know what's good for me. That energy is an energy that is it's necessary to temper that, because too much to the left and you kind of take on a me attitude. You seem very egocentric. You could be, your emotions could be erratic because you can't really rationalize anybody else's opinion or perspective but your own. So you get easily frustrated with people. They just it could just be a lot of intensity going on with you right now, and you just want to remember, to just prioritize self-care at this time is what I want to say about this moon energy for the Leo collective. Some signs could benefit completely from using all this energy is because their natural energy is so docile, like a Virgo or like a Libra. eh, let's just say a balanced Virgo and a balanced Libra. They could benefit from this because they kind of do struggle with, self issues. Leo, you don't struggle there. So this is in addition to the issues that you, well, not the issues, I don't mean to say it that way. This is in addition to the characteristics of you already. So you, I feel, really need to focus on balance right now and to understand that these heightened senses of rage and irritation and your short temper and your need to express yourself irregardless. I hate when people say irregardless, and I just said it, oh my God. But needing to express yourself regardless of how anybody else feels, you really just want to watch out for that right now, because it might create situations that aren't really situations. And a lot of this could have a lot to do with if you have anything unhealed at this time, which is, you want to look at this on the flip side, because I like to look at things like Women's Lemonade. On the flip side, as all these emotions come up, if you stay mentally aware, you could really take this as lessons on what did you do? Like, just think about what did you do when you got mad? If you took this advice and you said, all right, cool, she's saying that I might flip out tomorrow when I go to work. Usually I'm able to keep my shit together. But tomorrow, because the moon and this, that, and the third, and I'm already going through this, that, and the third, I'm probably going to wow somebody's whole life. She said, don't do it. So if you remember that right in that moment, you're already winning, because that means you're already in the present moment and you're maintaining an awareness of your thoughts, right? That mindfulness that people be talking about. Use that time to remember whatever it is that you think about during that time that gets you out of that emotion, that heightened 0 to 100 feeling. Once you get out of that feeling, just remember what you did, write it down, and try to put that into your daily practice, whether it's this moon energy or any other moon energy. You know what I mean? Because right now, having faith in your dreams is about moving forward and just staying focused on what it is that you want in the future. It's about not giving up on yourself. Maybe some of you might not need to give up on a situation or a project. You need to stay determined. Use that Aries energy, that Mars energy, to stay determined on what it is that you can do in your own life to support your own journey, to be the like the leader of your own life. You know what I mean? Believing in yourself. That's what this really is all about. Believing in yourself. Um, Finding your confidence, your strength, your power. If you've lost it, because sometimes I don't care how confident you are, you can lose it. You know what I mean? You can drop it. Something could happen and make you really feel, knock you back a couple of notches. And sometimes it's necessary. But that's the time where you learn. Every time something, anything, a happy time, a sad time, a disappointing time, a grief time, all of those times it's time to just pick up knowledge. If you look at it that way, you could take some of the sting off whatever you might be going through or whatever you might be internally going through, because sometimes it's not even an external event. Sometimes it's just your own trappings of your own mind about how you're looking at things that could really throw you into an irritable mood at the very least. So next I'm moving on, and I'm so glad to know that this came out after this. But this says, I was going to say I'm glad to know that everything was resonating, because when you see when it all come together. But this says, what boundaries can you set to protect your energy and prioritize your growth and well-being? And it says, cultivate a positive mindset that empowers me to manifest my dreams. So, like I said a little earlier, when you're manifesting, you think that it's like, I got to just think positive. I got to just think positive. You do. That is an essential part of how you get, your thoughts become actions, though, right? But there's a space. You can't just go from thought to action. If, like, let's just say you want to manifest a new sofa in your living room, but you have an old sofa in your living room. So you think about this new sofa, you know what you want to look like, you know how it's going to look in your living room and all that, but you don't take any steps. This is a huge family size sofa. It's seat like maybe 10, 12 people. It's one of them big old white ones that wrap around, and you need help getting it broken down. You need help getting it out of there. Maybe you want to sell it, but you just keep thinking about it because the first step you need to take, for some reason, you just feel like you can't take it. A lot of the time, that reason be something that happened, something that is weighing on your energy, something that maybe you haven't properly planned because of being distracted. It's a lot of different reasons why our manifestations take longer to manifest, to become physical and come reality. It's because sometimes we have to break that sofa down, and we won't. So if you're trying to manifest love, you might need to break down the sofa of all your past hurts. And some of that might include you taking accountability for your own mindset about how your experiences have gone in love. And also, there could be people in your environment that you might need to protect yourself from because they trigger you in a way that might not even be necessary right now. Triggering is good. Growth is always available when you're being triggered. But sometimes when somebody keeps triggering a certain part of you, you might need to remove yourself from that person or remove that person from you. In this card, and this is how this leads up to this. And this is the lioness from the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. Goddess. Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. And this card speaks about, first of all, how lit is it that it's a lioness? It's funny because when I was shuffling, I was like, what can we talk about to the divine feminine energy of the Leo, lion, lioness? Line that's popped out. I almost fell this goddamn shit. But this really talks about boundaries for real. This talks about not letting your body be used as a sacrifice for experimentation. And I mean that, like, is just testing it in dating. Like, there's a difference between dating people. Let's just speak on love. There's a difference about in dating people, knowing what you want, knowing where you want to go, knowing what kind of life you want to have, so you know what kind of person you want in it, versus I just need people to fill my time. I want somebody to tell me I'm cute. I want somebody to be hitting my phone, who in my DM, who on the block when I go outside. I used to be like that. I really did, because there was a lot of issues that I had with I was needing abandonment issues. Let's just put it that way. Abandonment issues, they are very vast. It's not just, the fear of being left alone. It's the feeling of not knowing how to be with yourself without feeling as if you're alone. I have conquered it. Thank you. I have been delivered. And it took a lot of hard events for me to get there. One of them almost took me up off this damn planet. I felt like I wasn't going nowhere. But I mean, my emotions felt like I can't deal with this anymore. I have got to feel better. And I got so tired that that's the point where I decided to learn to heal and really accept the fact that I had issues around being with my own self, and that was making me make decisions and not really having strong boundaries around who I allowed in my energy when I was dating, when I was out in the field. I was just like, I ain't saying I picked anybody. And over the years, I definitely developed a sense of, well, I know I don't like this, and I know this isn't going to work with this kind of person because of the way I am. Like you get there, but if you could miss a couple of steps, it might save your heart. um, this card also talks about old wounding, old triggers. It could be anything from, let's just take it from love and take it to like creative projects. Say you're trying to manifest something creatively, but you don't have strong boundaries around who you let in your environment. So it could be friends that's in your environment that's criticizing your work, that's talking down on you for saying or feeling like you can do whatever it is. And say have faith in your dreams. So maybe some of you have some grand ideas. I mean, Nipsey Hussle was a Leo, and he came up with Marathon. He had a vision and he made that shit happen. But how he got there, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do. And I'm quite sure there was people around him, even from the most loving of places, telling him, don't do this, don't do that. I'd never promote getting somewhere by doing some dirt. But I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do about stuff legally. Legal disclaimer. I'm not encouraging any kind of illegal activity. I'm just saying sometimes it be like how it be in the streets. And I'm gonna stop saying I'm just saying because it keep making me say what I'm not trying to say. But you get what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean? Sometimes it be like that. But you really want to watch who you have in your energy. Stay focused on your vision, Leo. That is pretty much the whole wrap up on this. This also talks about feelings of rejection. This talks about, once again, maybe you tried something to create something and nobody in your community supported you. Nobody, really came to your show. Nobody came to your event. I know the feeling. You got to fall. What was it? You can't be a boss until you take a loss. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but you might have negative perceptions around it. So say you're trying to manifest another opportunity at that thing you did before that you failed at, right? But you got new visions, you got new ideas, but because you failed before, deep within yourself, you're apprehensive. And there's somebody in your environment who is triggering that apprehension, showing you. Now, I'm not saying you excuse that person for being the trigger, but you see it for what it is. You realize within yourself, like, damn, I really do, because you find yourself arguing with this person. If you didn't feel like that, you wouldn't care what they, especially you, Leo, you wouldn't care what they had to say about nothing. But because you feel like that, maybe it's because you haven't really let go of that failure or how you view that failure. You haven't alchemized that thought yet. So that was your opening energy, and now we're gonna get into the tarot and see how this all, what spirit really wants to talk to you about, whether it's love, career, or whatever, a spiritual journey. Let's just see which way they're gonna take this. So thank you so much for staying for the talk. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand the vibes. And if you haven't already, hit that like button for me, and I'll see you in the next chapter. All right, Leo, welcome to this tarot. We're going to try to eat this down as fast as possible because I'm really trying to work on my time. And because I know when people see an hour, they be like, oh, ain't nobody watching all this. Not even with the timestamps. I feel it. I have to think about who I've been as a tarot watcher for all of the years I've been watching tarot in my life. So I'm going to try. But anyway, so I'm going to get into your past, present, and future first, right? And I'm going to overlap that with a spread about the new moon, what you can do to manifest your intentions. So, sorry for the banging, such a habit. If some of you like it, let me know in the comments. But, because some people like that ASMR, I don't know, banging don't do it for me though. I almost scared myself a few times with that banging in my video, so I apologize. Maybe I should put a warning in the thing. But what's this past situation for Leo, please? All right, planning for the future, trying to see what's going on. Thinking expansively, thinking about what can you do with this wand? What this endless opportunity with the Ace of Wands. So you got the Three of Wands. So you must have got some kind of new opportunity somewhere, some kind of new relationship, some kind of new job or something like that. And now that you got it, you're looking toward the future like, damn, what I'm going to do with this? You could be very passionate about whatever this new thing is. Because that's also, this is an Aries card. The Three of Wands is an Aries energy holding card. What is Leo's present energy? Two of Swords. Okay, so there's some kind of indecision here, some kind of fear you need to face, maybe. You This is direct contrast. So the Three of Wands is thinking about the future, planning for the future. And maybe you don't know which way to go. You don't know which way to go with the future. You don't know if what's in your current reality is going to your future with you. We'll see about that. So tell me, what is the future, projected future for the Leo collective, please? Projected future for the Leo collective. All right. So, in your opening, and okay, yeah, in your opening energy, I really did get a Five of Swords vibe. When I was really thinking about everything, and it just gave Five of Swords because either you or somebody in your energy just seems to be kind of argumentative. The Five of Swords is really a card of like a lot of like, me energy, like, my needs, my wants. I want what I want. It's very headstrong. It's very, it's like nobody really win though. So it's like you and somebody might not be seeing eye to eye. And this might be a person in your energy. You could be dealing with an air sign, which is a Libra card. You could be dealing with a Aquarius, Gemini. Um, you could be dealing with, what's the Five of Swords? That's not me. I don't know who that is. And then you could be dealing with an Aries. And the bottom of the deck, we got the Ten of Swords, and we got the Moon, and we got the Star. The Ten of Swords, Moon, and the Star. So it could be some past hurts in this relationship. It could be some past hurts in your life, Leo. But there's healing. Either you're healing now, or there's healing available. There was a vibe, like I said, with this energy where you really do regain your confidence. So some of you could be coming. You could be on the upswing of some kind of emotional turmoil that you went through in the past, where you realize your issues and you're working through them. So that could be your energy right now. But with this Two of Swords being your energy, you might not know how to work through those things. For your future energy, your intuition trying to tell you something that they need you to see with clarity about this fight that you having, or how this is conflict is affecting maybe your manifestation. So we'll get into it. We're gonna see what the reasons is. But let me go to another deck. Fine. Use this one. So tell me, what is it that Leo needs to focus on about this past energy in order to manifest their most purest and most wanted intention, which is Three of Wands? What you want them to know about this Three of Wands? Focus on about this. Okay, got the Empress energy, and that's a 3-3. So this is a divinely guided. So you got the High Priestess out here. The High Priestess can represent like a veil, like a doorway from conscious knowledge to subconscious knowledge. And if, to me, having these two out here like this, first of all, major arcana, major arcana. So it's kind of a process in your, this is whatever's going on in your life right now is a part of the bigger story. I could say that. With the Empress being out here, it's like your intuition might be telling you something about you needing to take care of yourself at this time. They could be telling you something about maybe there's some wounding, because with that Ten of Swords on the back of the deck, maybe there's some wounding around like a maternal figure in your life. With the Three of Wands and the Empress, some of you could be with child or planning on having children or wanting to have children. Um, like I was saying earlier about this Three of Wands energy, you had to get the Ace of Wands first. And with the Ace of Wands, that is endless possibilities. And the Empress card is about nurturing these possibilities, creating, birthing into existence new whatever, new project, new relationship, this, that, and the third. Let me get a little bit more about this for Leo. Yeah, definitely birthing your manifestations. You got the Empress and the Magician, but I also want to say sometimes this Magician card is about balancing all of your elements, knowing that you have everything in you to create. So it's like that self confidence right there. That thing I was talking about earlier, like using this energy to really balance, but maybe not. The word is balance, right? Knowing how to use it, knowing how to use your energy, knowing how to use your confidence to get what you want, knowing how to use your confidence to have confidence in your future. Maybe this could be saying, take care of yourself at this time. I want you to focus on self care and your own mastery of self at this time, because the Magician is a master as well. So it could be mastering yourself. This is also the as above, so below. And earlier, when I was talking about being able to bring your thoughts into actual action, requires a level of self care. But self care is not just about sitting in the tub with the essential oils. Self care is about discerning what needs to be in and out of your life in order for you to get what you want and see what you want happen or show up in your life. Tell me about this Two of Swords and their current energy. Huh. So the question that goes along with this is, what do I need to let go of? And you have the World. So the World is closure. And the World is the closure of a cycle. It's the last card of the major arcana. It is the ending of a cycle. With this Two of Swords right here. So with this Libra energy and the Two of Swords, it's about standing for yourself, being autonomous in a relationship. And that could be any kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be love. I don't even see love per se just yet. But any kind of relationship, even your relationship to your dream, you have got to let go of expending yourself in places other than for you. Like, just, oh, you need me. And Leos, the Moon and the Nine of Wands, yeah, fears and the Wounded Warrior. So, and the Queen of Pentacles. That Empress really got something to do with maybe some of maybe some of you guys' moms have passed on already, and they're coming to give you guidance on which way to go forward. I don't know where that came from. I just now looked down and felt like that. But on the bottom with the uh on the back of the deck with the Moon, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands is the card of the Wounded Warrior, and the Queen of Pentacles is also another maternal card. So some of you might have, how could I say it? So generationally, women have been needing to be different things each time. Just think about the mom during the slave times for our culture, right? Or think about that if you're not from our culture. There was a certain type of way she had to be. She couldn't be outspoken. She couldn't do anything but try to love on a man if the man was there, because you don't know how long he was going to be there, right? That way of existing got passed on from generation to generation to generation. Each generation modifying that action little by little by little by little. Now, there's always a rebellious generation that's like, I'm not doing none of that. So then you get the women's movement and you get this and you get that. There has been an imbalance in how we see our duty as a woman, but also how we've been taught. Because the same way the Mamie taught us how to be women, somebody's masculine energy taught men how to be men. And those men were demasculated, and those men were their manhood was stripped from them. Their ability to provide was stripped from them. Their king of the household, their kingliness from their country, everything they had been taught about their self-worth was stripped from them. And then they raised men. It's a cycle that is closing for everybody, male or female, masculine energy or female energy. I don't know where I'm getting this. So it must be, I think the ancestors is trying to tell us this. I really feel like this is somewhat of an ancestral message, because you, with this energy of the moon, with them trying to shake us into remembering who we are. That's why it's important for you to temper yourself at this time, because that fire that Mars puts in you, that Aries put in you, and you being a Leo already, got you probably overzealous. And then maybe that's what they're trying to say. See things clearly. What you need to focus on in the future is seeing things clearly about why you're reacting the way you're reacting to whatever it is in your environment. But what they might want you to understand about that is the fact that whatever's happening in your environment is happening to bring a cycle of you sacrificing yourself and not following your dreams and your goals and your ambitions for the sake of a relationship. And I say relationships because Libra energy is about relationships. It's about balancing the relationship between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy itself, but specifically also relationships. So let me get a little bit more about this. What kind of cycle is Leo closing right now? Cycle of heartbreak, cycle of devastation, cycle of betrayal. All of that is what you get when you in this energy of not being able to choose for yourself, be about yourself and know what it is that you really want. You're fire sign. You just rolling with the punches. You just rolling with the flow, and you doing what makes you feel good, what lights the fire in you. And that's always a beautiful thing. If, yes, there's an if you learn how to do it with the understanding that, or the just the emotional intelligence for toward yourself, the one everything that you are to everybody else, if you just turn that into yourself, you could master this and get through this cycle very easily, really, because all you need to remember is what you want. And that's why it's important for you to sit down and get in touch first with your inner child and think about the stuff that made you happy. Look at your inner child as a separate being. Like, sit down in your own time and really hold a picture of yourself when you was a child. If you don't have any, envision yourself as a child, and or just envision a little child and talk to that child the way you would as a parent that cares about that child. Talk to that child and ask them what they like to do. I went and brought coloring books and crayons because of that very thing I just now said. I heard myself say, I used to like to color. I like coloring. Why we don't color no more? I went to the dollar store and got some crayons, and every now and again I will sit and color. I don't color as often as many books as I have, but stuff like that. You want to really get in touch with you. This is a cycle of you closing the maybe familial trappings, meaning like your family, like I was talking about earlier, the way that you were raised really put you in the energy of sacrificing yourself, thinking that that's what it takes for you to be loved. But you see, every time, because if this is the world with the 10 of swords, you've been in a cycle of pain. You've been in a cycle of taking chances and it ended in heartbreak. But that's because you're going into it not knowing what you really want. How important is it for you to know what you really want, for you to manifest something? You got to know what you want, and not only what you want, but what you're ready for. So let's move on. The High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords. What is the next step they should consider? What should they consider? What should Leo consider about, what is it you want them to understand about this High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords? Let's start with that. That there's healing available. So this is also, if you step through that veil with this High Priestess energy, just look at that. Just look at the High Priestess. You see how at peace she is. You see how she's standing still. And with the energy the way it is right now, this card to me, along with healing, they just take the energy from these cards. I hope y'all can feel it just for a second. And just think about the fact that on the other side of your understanding, you using your intuition to understand, or this is you using your intuition right now. If you found this video, if this video came across you, the High Priestess sent me your way or sent you my way, however it got divinely orchestrated for you to open up your intuition so they could talk to you. So using your intuition, using the information you receive, and like, oh, so maybe this breakup is happening because of a cycle of decision making for me. So now I have action steps. I need to sit down and figure out what I want this to be and what I want that to be and what's in my way and things like that, right? This also is them letting you know, them being your ancestors or your guides, letting you know your intuition, your internal system can be trusted. You can trust in that and have hope that there is healing that will happen. We had that Nine of Wands energy out here earlier. The wounded warrior sometimes feels as though this is forever. I'm going to always be in this pain. I'm not going to be able to heal. We really do have that mentality these days that it is what it is. It is what it is, but some things and some parts about it are malleable because of perception. Because of perception. The Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. Let me get a little bit more on that. Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. I just think they want you to see clearly what's causing this conflict. You got the Ace of Swords again. And okay, just like I said, you got the Ace of Swords and you got the Eight of Cups. This is immediately giving me vibes of them saying, we want you to see clearly. We want you to see clearly with this Ace of Swords and this High Priestess that it's time for you to move on from things that no longer serve you. That can be an array of things. I do not get the energy of another person in this. I'm gonna tell you. So if you're in the Five of Swords, you could just be fighting, having internal conflict with yourself about the decisions that you're making, and knowing that it's time for you to make a change. Your High Priestess is telling you, you already know, and there is the Ace of Swords out here twice. The Ace of Swords is clarifying itself. Your High Priestess is telling you pretty much, you kind of already know, Leo, what your problem is, just to put it frankly. And the issue with you manifesting the thing that you may want, whatever it is that you may want, and I'm gonna see if I can find out whatever it is you may want. The problem with that is the way you're moving in life is not serving you, and you might need to consider walking away from some of your behaviors, walking away from some of the places that you frequent, walking away from some of the, you know maybe your phone don't need to ring so much. Maybe you could close your account on a few dating apps. Maybe, just start to simplify your life. I think at this time is what I'm feeling that spirit really wants you to understand, because it's just been this cycle of, maybe you've been going through people mistreating you, misusing your kindness, taking it for weakness, people lying to you, you finding out that people are fraud, they are not who they said they were, or you just really naturally losing interest in the person because it's not even really what you want, and you don't know what you want. With this Two of Swords, you don't know what you want, but you know how you want to feel, and you might just feel a way but lose that feeling after a while, because the person can only provide but so much. So you might have some kind of unrealistic expectations on yourself, on what you can achieve in life based on what you're already in. Like, maybe you want a Benz, but you don't got Benz money. It's unrealistic. I mean, we on Earth, so we got to remember we on Earth. So don't let people hype you up to feel like you can have anything. You can, but you got to work for it. You got to do the work. So some of getting the Benz might turn into you unpacking, where am I spending money that I don't need to so I can save? You might see that list and be like, damn, I spent $74 in 1 week on DoorDash. What I was getting, you ate it. I'm just saying, that's the vibes it's giving. It's giving like real straightforward vibes. And thank you, Spirit, because I said fast. Real straightforward vibes, that's what it is. So I personally feel like, let me see. What is it that Leo is trying to manifest in this time? What can I see? Mona mia to see ya, Mona mia to see ya. I want to use them. Okay. Let me use my little teeny weeny deck because I don't feel like looking for them. I know where they at, but I don't feel like getting them. What is it that Leo is trying to manifest? Bring the energy over here to this, please. What is it that Leo is trying to manifest at this time? There might be somebody in your energy, if it's not you, in emotional turmoil and conflict, that's putting you in that Five of Swords, that argumentative energy. Maybe you're in reaction to somebody in your energy being that way. The spirit is trying to tell you to see that clearly, that this person is triggering you to act the way you don't need to act, and get rid of them, or get rid of yourself from that situation. So I just heard Cinderella, a dream is a wish your heart makes. So that was my favorite movie when I was a child, by the way. Hey, maybe all our inner children is listening to this. Hey, y'all. Hi, I used to be in Girl Scouts. How you doing? So anyway, what is Leo trying to manifest? Hey, yo. You trying to manifest the ending of a cycle of pain. Oh my God. I've seen this happen for myself. I've never seen this happen for anybody else. How? How, Sway? How? I'm sorry, I'm all in the mic with my mouth because it just shot my back hot. Okay, somebody just pat me on my back, but how? When I tell you, seek some healing, seek some honesty, seek some authenticity in yourself, Leo. You have, there is a strong need for you to really sit with yourself and see why. Like, do you have daddy issues? Do you have mommy issues? Do you have self-worth issues where all you feel your worth is feeling good for a while? Do you have issues with taking accountability, or do you have issues with the hard work that it takes for actual real whatever it is? If it's a real relationship, do you possess the energy to ride the waves of a relationship? Like when it's low and slow, do you get bored and run? Like you got to sit with yourself and be honest, because that's going to lead you exactly where you want to be as far as happiness is concerned. Because let's just say that's who you are. Never get in a relationship. You'll be happy as I don't know what for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't want to do that and really do that. So when I say do that and don't get in a relationship for the rest of your life, I don't mean do that and then still date, because somebody gonna catch feelings. So do that and stand on that. Go do other stuff. There's so much stuff to do in life. You just think about that. I did the other day and I was like, what I'm doing? It's so much stuff to do. I've traveled sometimes, but I'd like to do a lot more because there's so many places. Shit, if I can get somewhere every weekend, I'm trying to be somewhere every weekend. Put that in the atmosphere. Somebody pray with me that we all get to travel somewhere we want to go frequently, because that's what's going to excite me and move me past. Got to have somebody to love on. You don't have to have somebody to love on. Love on you. Love on you. Think about what you want to manifest. Think, stay in positive energy. Cultivate a positive mind space. And if it's something in your energy that won't allow it to happen, get rid of it or change. But like I change your scenery. But like I'm saying, to cultivate this positive mindset and manifest your dreams, you have to set boundaries around what you allow in your life. And if you can't set them boundaries, it's because you need that cycle of pain to close first. So unfortunately, it don't really look like you can do too much manifesting right now, because all I see is that whatever it is that you're doing or have done that's led you here to think about what your future is, the block is more than likely your heart chakra, because that's where pain rests. Your heart chakra. And if your heart chakra being right here is not balanced, there's no, you can't even hear your intuition. You're just rolling on whatever. So Leo, that was the quickest I ever did it. It's lit. 24 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to this advice from the Orisha Oracle, and then we're gonna move on through this, guys. This has been fun. Thanks. Okay, Leo, welcome to this Orisha advice uh, message. I will be reading from the book and the energy to this deck. Let's get a closing message to help guide Leo into their next best move to help them leave behind patterns that are no longer serving them. Ancestors, what do you want to speak to Leo about? The Lovers. Bottom of the deck, the Star. Leo, you got some very, very, very consistent energy. I'm not going to speak too long because I don't want to make this chapter too long, but just real quick. What I know, the thing that stood out to me about this card right here that I didn't see in any other deck that I have, any other tarot deck, is they speak about ambiguousness, not knowing if what you're seeing is what you're really seeing. And the Lovers itself is a divine decision. You got to make a decision, right or left, up or down, right or wrong. Sometimes wounding can color what we think we see. And it could also make us not make a decision because of wounding. So if you have an abandonment issue and somebody in your environment, you need to leave. You're scared to make them leave because You know what it feel like to be abandoned, so you don't want to do that to nobody else. But the whole time, them staying is really is messing you up. So let me see. I adore this book. Whoever wrote this, I gotta, well, not whoever, I know who wrote it. Andrew McGregor. But look at that. Since I said the other day, it's like I'm doing a book report. Well, so I was the kid in school that really would take the classwork and then want to play school in the summertime. And one of my friends had said to me, I don't know why I remember this because I was so young. She was like, Monique, we out of school. I don't want to play school no more. But I mean, look, man, look who I am, how I am. That you got to be who you was. This really makes me happy. And I'm sharing this information because I learned from this information how to be exactly how I'm being right now. And I'm gonna continue to learn and I'm gonna continue to share. And I hope somebody gets something from this because it's worth it. It's just I know I'm a soldier. You gotta be strong, Leo, and rawr. That's who we are. The Lovers is one of the cards that isn't really what it seems. At first glance, it might show romance, love, or even marriage. However, tradition says that this is a card of ambiguity. Older decks show central figures, usually a man with two women. It is said that he is choosing between them or that one is a chaperone and the other is his date. The only thing that is truly clear is that a choice is to be made, but whether it is the right one remains to be seen. In the stories of the Orisha, there can be found many examples of the intrigue between lovers, such as one charming a lover away from another in order to be with them. These stories are one of the places that non Western nature of the Orisha stands out. The use of magic to sway lovers, so that's like being tricked, bewitched, fooled, manipulated, that would lead to that Ten of Swords energy that you're closing that cycle on. Is you the use of magic to sway lovers is used by many to either win the heart or persuade someone to sleep with them. Many stories carry out cautionary tales about trying too hard to win, such as with Oba and the Five of Cups in his deck. That's a whole nother story. The king of a town wanted to wage war on the town of women. He asked his warriors to go capture them. Shango, Babaluye, Ogun, and others all went and were turned back in defeat. The king then asked the female Orisha to go. Yemiya said Oshun should go first, but Oya, being proud and fierce, that Leo energy, she said she would go first. Returning defeated, Oshun was then sent. Being wise, she divined before going and was told to bring back a calabash, a kind of gourd. I don't even know what a gourd is. We could look that up. She could play and sing along with. It's an instrument. She made her offerings and went about singing how she did not know how to fight. As she sang, the women in their town came to see what she was talking about. They put down their weapons and joined her in song. Together, they all left the town of women. She walked them right into the city where the men were waiting outside. Together, they all lived and became followers of Oshun. This card is a card where we need to be clear about what we want. Oh, yeah, like duh. We cannot suppose that others know what we need or how to go about getting it. We cannot rely on traditional roles either. It may be that only through divination is the way forward known. It is also important not to fight. Confrontation won't win the day when this card shows up. This is a card of an unclear path, an unclear past. Well, yeah, for some of you who do not know where that wounding is, but you will soon find out. Um, but it said an unclear path, lots of bad advice. So somebody, you with these readings, y'all really want to be cognizant. You really want to really pay attention to the ones you draw and listen to. If you always like, say you're in a love situation and you always looking at love tarot, you gotta watch it. Everybody see the cards differently. You want to pick readers that see the cards in the most uplifting way, not toxic positivity where everything is he wants you and he's so in love with you, just give him time. No, but the ones that's being honest and saying, listen, it might be you, it might be them, this is that and that's that. Because if you let yourself keep getting drawn in the drama, not only are you triggering yourself into feeling bad, you're attracting more of the same. So watch the advice that you take in, and if it's not other tarot or stuff like that, watch the people you're talking to, because remember, we're all meeting each other's traumas and wounds and healing and journeys. So somebody, you might have healed past the way of looking at something, but the person you're talking to might be telling you to look at it in a way that's traumatic, like, like from a place of pain, and it's going to just draw you back more into this indecision, this place of indecision. Um, it says this person's attitude is interfering with getting what they want. This irritability, that anger. I don't know who's upset out there, but somebody might be using their emotions in a way that's just like not serving them. The spirit is saying to walk away from that. That five of swords energy is what spirit was saying to walk away from, but more so internally. But that internal conflict could cause you to be it just could cause you to be like nasty towards people. So you might want to watch that. And it said, others are showing off but unable to deliver. So that goes along with not being able to see whether or not what you're seeing is real or not. And when you succeed, everything will be yours. So that's basically saying don't worry about losing what's for you. What's for you will always be for you. And the only thing that affects that is your attitude about that. And it's not that the thing won't come, but it's that, like, say you're supposed to be with a certain person, and that person shows up, but your attitude is still stuck in trying to close that cycle, or even trying to run from closing that cycle of pain. You might be somebody that hurt people. You might hurt that person. So yeah, that's basically the advice from the Orishas, and it's very fitting. Excuse me, dry. But it's very fitting because, in order for you to manifest, you have to know what you want. And you have to have a clear path, and everything has to be what it is. So, thank you for this chapter. And then we're moving into the final chapters. And then that's going to be that. I don't think I'm going to say this any more times. I think I'm just going to say, all right, y'all. You know what I just thought of, Leo? First of all, how much I love the divine and I love our relationship. But secondly, the fact that Mars is such a destructive planet, right? It's known for fight. And with the closing of your painful cycle, the cycle of pain and betrayal and loss and heartbreak, the energy, when I asked, what are the herbs, what are the essential oils that are of Mars, frankincense was the first one to pop up. And I'm gonna read to you what the healing properties are, and watch just how resonant this is. But Mars being a planet of destruction, that's alchemy all day. A fiery planet, a fiery sign. It rule the element of fire itself, Aries, the first, the Ace of Wands. It rules that, and fire is akin to alchemy. So whatever's happening in your life, if there's closings, endings, and things like that, it's a part of that cycle. So the best way to perceive that situation is this is happening for my highest good. And to help soothe the process, this is not a paid promotion. This is for your healing, frankincense. If you need to see that, look that up. But it says frankincense is known for its ability to promote emotional balance and spiritual growth. The aroma of frankincense is believed to have calming effects that can help alleviate feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression. When used during meditation or prayer, it enhances focus and deepens spiritual connections. This makes it a valuable tool for those seeking to heal from emotional trauma or spiritual disconnection from your intuition, like I was talking about. The indecision, you got to be decisive. It just affects everything. One, and this is for also cleansing negative energies, which would be associated to past traumas, pains, and hurts in that Ten of Swords cycle. One of the primary benefits attributed to frankincense is its ability to cleanse negative energies. It is often used in rituals aimed at dispelling negativity from one's aura or environment. By burning frankincense resin or using essential oils during meditation or spiritual practices, individuals can create a sacred space that fosters healing and introspection, needed inside introspection. This cleansing effect can be particularly beneficial for those dealing with past traumas or emotional pain. So that's that. And me, so for the masculine energies, you could use patchouli as well. Patchouli, you can look that up. I'm not going to take you out to another reading of these things, but you can look that up and see what the benefit is. It's good for, I use it for, like, I ain't gonna say money spells because I don't even do spells, but I diffuse it when I'm trying to, think of my abundance. It's usually like at the beginning of the month. I'll do like cinnamon one day, patchouli another day, but whatever the case, Blend that with some patchouli that smells very masculine, very earthy. Think like granddad. So that mature, solid King of Pentacles man. If that's you, Mr. Alpha Male, use that. It'll help calm you down, soothe your nerves, stop you from fussing and cussing and stuff. For my ladies, we have rose oil because self love. This is just, that's the one thing I want to say about rose oil. Look it up. There's a lot of different elements in rose oil that are beneficial for this time in your life, but the biggest element I get is for self love, self worth, and feeling loved. It's such a beautiful smell. So when you mix that with the frankincense, it gives like, it dies down very fast, thank God, but it gives like a earthy outside in the grass. They give it outside in the grass where the rose is a rose bush around. That's what it smells exactly like to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a closing oracle message from the Black Moon Lilith deck because it seems as though there's past traumas and old wounding, which would be shadow work. And this is a deck of shadow work. So, why does it feel so light? Am I missing? Oh, I feel like I'm missing some colors. This feel light in my hand. But what's here need to be here. What's going to be heard is going to be seen. Tell me, for Leo Collective, bring the energy here and let's close this out for them. We want Leo to know in closing. We want Leo to know in closing, spirit. We want Leo to know. Like, oh, I was going to say, like, nothing. Free your mind and the rest will follow. So it says, Black Moon, Lilith, and Sagittarius, free yourself. Isn't that fitting? Isn't that fitting? Free yourself from that cycle of pain, man. But it's free yourself, meaning you do it. You got to make a decision. Even before you talk to your angels and spirit guides, you have to make a decision to allow them to assist you. It says the universe is liberating you from the control of others. That too, thank you, spirit. That too of swords energy. That is others controlling you, dominating you. That's empath energy. That's I hate using the term, I'm not a doctor, but that's narcissist and empath relationship energy. So some of you might have dealt with a lot of people that were self-serving, a lot of people that tried to, like it's my way or the highway, and you was like, all right, because I want you to know that no. Your higher perspective is freedom. It's time to step into your freedom. Your drive to be a free spirit can feel strong right now. That independent Aries energy. It says traveling is a spiritual experience for you, and it will allow you to heal. Take time to escape and allow yourself to be present to your journey. Mm-hmm. It says you can see the bigger. All right, shit. You can see the bigger picture and make decisions from an informed space. You may be breaking ties with someone or something that no longer serves you. Eight of Cups. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign representing beliefs, wisdom, optimism, and growth, and expansion through your experience. Symbolized by the Archer, it's ruled by lucky Jupiter and linked with the higher self, your true self. Sans the programming weighing you down, which is all of those just hurtful things. That's a programming. If you always getting hurt, you're being programmed to believe that that's your story. It says in universal law and alchemy, your belief system creates your reality. When you shift the dark energy surrounding your beliefs, you will move into creation mastery, manifesting. Knowing that you are a wise, intelligent being is important with healing displacement. So I stumbled through that because I wasn't trying to read the whole thing, but I read the whole thing. I mean, shit. Y'all needed it. Who am I to tell the word of spirits? Let me get a crystal energy for the Leo Collective to get them out of here. Crystals. Give me a crystal stone, a crystal or stone for the Leo Collective to help them heal, to help them close this cycle, this Two of Swords cycle in their life, to help them heal their relationship to relationships. What stone or crystal is valid for the Leo Collective? Stone or crystal? I'm always divinely protected. I know that I'm safe. Release anxiety, anger, jealousy, and frustration. Deflect negative energy. Practice meditation on a regular basis. Invoke divine protection by saying that what I just said. Improve ability to quiet the mind. What is this? Chat. Yeah. It fell right as soon as I was looking for it. So this is jet, everybody. Everybody, jet. This is what it looks like. It's just a deeply black stone. And this is the card. So if you wanted to screenshot that, and I'll give you the back. No pun intended. Okay, guys. So that is the end of this little message. I hope that it did some good. I wish you healing through your journey. I want you to know that you're worth it. I want you to remember who you are, Leo. You're the inspiration for us all. You're the sun. We need your warmth. We need you to be in your best energy, and we need you to show us what it feels like to manifest. So shake off all that dirt of those past pains and hurts, and trust in spirit, trust in the divine, trust in your belief system, and know that you are covered, you are protected, you are safe, you are loved. And thank you. You are appreciated by me. Thanks for listening. See you guys next time.